So, happy Monday to you guys. Great article again. Nintendo Switch may become the ultimate Final Fantasy machine. Here's the article as it goes. Square Enix CEO Yoshida Matsuda has been making some really interesting comments lately. We've been mining an interview which was recently published in the Nikkei, maybe some newspaper webpage, where Matsuda stated that Square Enix will be laser focused on the Nintendo Switch in coming months. Now, I'm kind of skeptical because I would like third-party company to make more, because it was the same thing when the 3DS came out. Nintendo 3DS, we had so little library, it was insane, and it wasn't selling. Now it's kind of happening right now. We have a lot of virtual console, but you know, let's keep on reading with this. We need some more physical third-party big company to really put out more titles. That's why I'm reading this article. If Square Enix is in, and the article does say become the ultimate Final Fantasy machine. So this was very pointed comment, especially in the light of the recent Project Scorpio hype. We know two sides of Square Enix. The side that produced the biggest RPG, prettiest RPG on any console, and the side we look to for all of our old school RPG needs. Yes, we do. It's that second aspect. Yes, second aspect, which will appeal to Nintendo Switch owners. Pause. They did show Secret of Mana Part 2 finally been ported on the Nintendo Switch, which was awesome. So, the glory days of Final Fantasy, the glory days of Square Enix was before. Like, there's some older stuff, retro, back in the days, classic, that still didn't get beaten today. Let's keep on reading. And Matsuda recently comment leads us to believe that the Switch could become the ultimate Final Fantasy Dragon Quest machine. Here's what he had to say via Nintendo Everything. Our developers with a strong interest in the Switch are eager to challenge themselves to find new ways for people to play games. Having more gaming platform available is a good thing for us. I really want the Switch to succeed. We'll develop new titles, and we like to port existing titles that the Switch can support often as we can. That's awesome news. Nintendo creates a variety of new gameplay possibilities. I think other companies will come up with some surprising gimmicks using the Switch unique capabilities. We have our own ways of doing this, so we'll be marrying the Switch unique features to the kind of games we're known for. It's kind of epic coming from the Square Enix president. You know that you know what it means, right? That means that the Switch is potentially an ideal candidate for pretty much every single Final Fantasy game before Final Fantasy 14? Okay, it also means we could be seeing big Dragon Quest collection land on the Switch. And we couldn't be more excited about that. First thing, Square Enix, let's get port of World of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest Builder over to the Switch right away. That's good news. If that happens, we'll never see the light of day again. If that happens, we'll never see the light of day again. Why? It's interesting to note that mainline Final Fantasy game hasn't hit a Nintendo console since... Wow, that's bad. Since Final Fantasy VI. Wow, I never thought of that. We'd love to see some enhanced version of Final Fantasy VII that came out on PS4. It's way to this to make its way to the Switch. They want some remastered Final Fantasy. I'm thinking about Secret of Mana, other RPG, not turn-based, hack and slash. Xenogear, Brave Fencer Musashi. That'd be awesome to come back. Okay. Of course, We have no idea if any of those ports are in the works. One thing is certain though, this year E3 is going to be a blast. They haven't said if they're gonna port Final Fantasy VII to the Switch, but they're thinking about it. But it's awesome. It might be for retro gamers. It might be. I'm noticing. I bought this, and the loading time are kind of slow on this. So some games load faster, but I'm scared. Retro games should load faster, but bigger games, bigger title are kind of slow of loading. Though Breath of the Wild never had an issue on it, but I'm skeptical to bring on. They're talking about bigger titles to come to Switch, like Overwatch and stuff like that. I'm like, skeptical of the power of the machine, because the loading time some games is really slow. So it's good news for and from Square Enix. Nintendo Switch should just focus on retro. And then again, what's the point of focusing on retro when you can just get an emulator and get everything online? I'm just thinking of remastered stuff we already played also. I'm just making a point. I got my gaming library, but emulators and whatever revamp, it always feels best when you're playing on the original console with the original controller. You can try it out if you live the experience of playing the original game on the first system, then you play it on virtual console or anything else. Some of them are really well ported and they're fun, but playing on the real deal is always the best. So guys, that was the Final Fantasy article. Square Enix promising to make the Switch the awesomeness. For me, my first and foremost request is getting Phantasy Star Online back in the Switch, but it's never going to happen. I am too small and I don't make that much of an impact on society. Maybe one day. Sega, if you're out there, just put it on the Switch. Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2, revamp that, play it online. That's all I want. Then I will die a happy man. And Tecmo make a Fatal Frame on the PlayStation VR, please. That's my request for the rest of my life. Good night, guys. And I'll see you soon. I'll make some later on gameplay, but I had to share this because Nintendo Switch is really lacking titles. Library I'm talking about. See you soon.